Bring our collective salutations to the Almighty, revered elders, devotees from across the globe, staff and students, a very good morning and welcome to day 71 of the One World, One Family World Cultural Festival. This morning, we are delighted to honor and celebrate the nations of Burkina Faso, Senegal, and the Gambia, three jewels of West Africa, where rhythm, resilience, and warmth flow through every aspect of life. Burkina Faso, the land of upright people, stands as a symbol of integrity and artistic grace. From the bustling streets of Ouagadougou to its vibrant village festivals, the nation resonates with the beat of djembe and the spirit of its people. Senegal, known as the gateway to Africa, is a nation where the Atlantic breeze carries the music of Saba drums and the scent of hibiscus tea. From the historic islands, which whisper stories of courage and endurance, to the lively rhythms of Dakar, Senegal reflects the philosophy of hospitality, warmth, and generosity that welcome the world with open arms. The Gambia, affectionately called the smiling coast of Africa, is considered to be the smallest nation on the continent. Flowing through its land is the Gambia River, which banks echo the melodies of Kora, the laughter of communities, and the harmony between nature and tradition. Together, these nations remind us that art, rhythm, and community are not just cultural expressions, but they are ways of life. In the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one world, one family, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and the Gambia stand as shining examples of how dignity, culture, and compassion can unite humanity in harmony and joy. As part of the Universal Wisdom for a United World lecture series, it is our honor to welcome Swami Medhananda, an eminent academic philosopher and monk of the Ramakrishna order. He currently serves as the Senior Research Fellow in Philosophy at the Vedanta Society of Southern California in Hollywood and as the Hindu chaplain at both UCLA and the University of Southern California. Swami Medhananda is also the section editor for the International Journal of Hindu Studies, Springer, where he oversees research in Hindu and cross-cultural philosophy of religion. After receiving spiritual initiation from Swami Swahananda, he joined the Ramakrishna order in 2010 at Bhelur Mutt, where he served as associate professor and head of the philosophy program at the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Educational and Research Institute until 2021. He received Sannyasa Diksha from Swami Smaranananda, the current president of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission in 2020. Swami Medhananda is the author of several acclaimed books, including Swami Vivekananda's Vedantic Cosmopolitanism and Infinite Paths to Infinite Reality, Sri Ramakrishna and Cross-Cultural Philosophy of Religion, and many others. A globally respected scholar, he has lectured at leading universities such as Harvard, Princeton, Oxford, and the University of Munster, among many others, and has published extensively in reputed international journals. It is indeed a privilege to have with us today a thinker who seamlessly bridges the worlds of spirituality and scholarship, embodying the living spirit of Vedanta through his life, learning, and luminous intellect. Swami Medhananda will be addressing us online.
Namaste, Hari Om. I hope you can hear me. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It's a great honor to be speaking to you on this very auspicious occasion of the 100th birth anniversary of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. I'm very grateful that I'm able to participate today. And thank you for the generous introduction. I've been asked to speak on the wonderful theme, One World, One Family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. My time is short, but I thought what I would do in the brief time that I have is to speak on this very important theme from the standpoint of my own spiritual tradition, which is the tradition of Sri Ramakrishna Swami Vivekananda and Holy Mother Sharada Devi. So I'll speak briefly about three main things. So the talk will have three parts. The first is I'll be explaining Sri Ramakrishna's non-sectarian philosophy of what I call Vijnana Vedanta. Second, I will discuss briefly his teachings on the harmony of all spiritual paths. And thirdly, I want to discuss the spiritual ethics of social service that we can derive from Vijnana Vedanta that was embodied and taught by Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Holy Mother Sharada Devi, and of course, the entire tradition of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba as well. So many of you do such wonderful work, love all, serve all, and you have these different charitable institutions throughout the world. So that's very much in the spirit of one world, one family. And I hope to explain the philosophical underpinnings of that kind of service activity in a spirit of worship. So what exactly is Sri Ramakrishna's non-sectarian philosophy of Vijnana Vedanta? Why do I call it non-sectarian? Because I see his philosophy as harmonizing all of the traditional Vedantic schools. What do I mean by those schools? Shankara's Advaita Vedanta, Ramanuja's Vishishtadvaita Vedanta, Madhva's Dvaita Vedanta, Vallabha Shuddha Advaita Vedanta, Chaitanya's Achinta Bheda Bheda Vedanta, and so on. There are many schools of Vedanta. And Sri Ramakrishna's philosophy beautifully harmonizes these philosophies. How does it do that? Well, Shankara, for instance, Shankaracharya, he claims that ultimate reality is only nirguna, impersonal, attributeless, pure consciousness. But the bhakti schools of Vedanta, like Ramanuja school, Madhva school, they say that the ultimate reality is only saguna, the personal God, Vishnu. And other bhakti schools, like Achintya Bheda Bheda and Shuddha Advaita Vedanta, they accept both. They accept that the supreme reality is their beloved Krishna, but they also accept the reality of Nirguna Brahman. But what they say is there's still a hierarchy. And these two schools, Achintya Bheda Bheda Vedanta and Shuddha Advaita Vedanta, they both say that this Nirguna Brahman, this impersonal, attributeless, pure consciousness of Advaita Vedanta, is just a minor aspect of Bhagavan Krishna. So there's still a hierarchy. There's higher, there's lower. Now, how does Sri Ramakrishna harmonize all of these different traditional Vedantic approaches to ultimate reality? Well, Sri Ramakrishna used to teach that there are two fundamental stages in spiritual experience, which he called jnana and vijnana. And he says, imagine that you're trying to reach the roof of a house. How do you get there? By climbing a staircase. He says, climbing the staircase is like the sadhana of neti neti, not this, not this. Brahman is not my body, Brahman is not this world, Brahman is not my mind, and so on, until you reach the roof. Reaching the roof signifies Brahma Jnana. This is a stage of Jnana. You have knowledge of non-dual pure consciousness. And then if you come back from that state of Nirvikalpa Samadhi and you look upon this world, you see the world as an illusion, as a dream. Okay? Then he says, but some rare souls are able to go from jnana to an even greater spiritual realization, which he calls vijnana. He says the vijnani is like somebody who, after reaching the roof, looks back on the staircase and says, wait a minute, the steps are made of the same materials as the roof, bricks, lime, and brick dust. So the vijnani, unlike the jnani, realizes that the ultimate reality is both nirguna, impersonal and attributeless, and also saguna, personal, with attributes. And the Vijnani realizes that God is both with form and without form. And instead of looking upon this world as a dream, as an illusion, the Vijnani sees it as a real manifestation of Shakti, of the divine. Okay, so the way I see it, Sri Ramakrishna is distinguishing two different kinds of Advaitic philosophy, non-dual philosophies, on the basis of these two different non-dual experiences, Jnana and Vijnana. The spiritual realization of jnana is the basis for Shankara's classical Advaita Vedanta philosophy, according to which the only truth is non-dual impersonal Brahman, Brahma Satyam, and everything else is an illusion, Jagat Mithya, including the personal God. By contrast, Vijnana, the spiritual realization of Vijnana, serves as the basis of Sri Ramakrishna's Vijnana Vedanta philosophy, it's also a non-dual philosophy. So this is also non-dual. It's not dualistic. It's non-dual. But it's an all-embracing non-duality, an all-embracing oneness, as Sri Ramakrishna used to say, Shob Jodiya Ekti. It's a oneness that does not exclude anything. Okay. So let's try to understand a little bit more deeply what exactly is the nature of Sri Ramakrishna's all-embracing oneness, this all-embracing divine oneness. First of all, what is Sri Ramakrishna's understanding of ultimate reality? Sri Ramakrishna holds that Brahman and Shakti are non-different, like fire and its power to burn, Agni and its Dahika Shakti. Okay, notice, what is he saying? He's saying that the non-dual, attributeless, pure consciousness of Advaita Vedanta, which he calls Brahman, is non-different from the personal God, Shakti. They're the same divine reality seen from different standpoints. One is a static aspect, the other is a dynamic aspect. Both are equally real, and there's no higher and lower. So we see how he beautifully harmonizes the traditional Vedantic schools. He accepts Shankara's Nirguna Brahman, but he tells Shankara, but Shankara, I love your Nirguna Brahman, but you should also accept Shakti. And he turns to the Bhakti schools of Vedanta and he says, I love your Vishnu and your Krishna, but don't limit God to just the person of God. God also has an impersonal aspect. And then he turns to Achintya Bheda Bheda Vedanta and to Shuddhadvaita Vedanta, and he says, it's wonderful that you accept both Nirguna Brahman and Saguna Brahman, but don't go into these hierarchies, into higher and lower. Better to put them on an equal footing. They're equally true and equally valuable, Brahman and Shakti. It's really a matter of preference, which one you prefer, okay, which one you choose, whether you like the personal God and which form of the personal God you like, whether with form or without form, or whether you prefer impersonal Brahman. It's a matter of preference, not a matter of higher and lower, greater truth, lesser truth. He used the analogy of an infinite ocean to explain this idea. He says, imagine an infinite ocean representing Satchit Ananda, existence, consciousness, and bliss. Under the gentle breeze of the cooling influence of bhakti, that ocean forms into ice. So there are different ice formations in different parts of the ocean. Those different ice formations represent different forms of the personal God. One can be Ganesha, one can be Christ, one can be Kali, one can be Hanuman, and so on, Krishna. Then he says, with the rising of the sun of knowledge, Jnana Surya, those ice forms melt. And of course, if the parable stopped here, then classical Advaita Vedantins would feel vindicated. They would feel happy and say, see, that means that the personal God and the God with form is a lower truth. It's a lower reality. But Sri Ramakrishna then goes on to say, in some places, the ice does not melt at all. It becomes like quartz. And he uses a very important Sanskrit phrase. In some places, there are eternal forms of God, Nitya Sakara, Nitya Shakar in Bengali. Nitya Sakara. Not that forms are a lower truth than the formless reality. Forms are as real as the formless. And accordingly, he taught that the ultimate goal of liberation takes two fundamentally different forms. And he used a beautiful metaphor to explain it, either eating sugar or becoming sugar. Becoming sugar is the ideal of Advaita Vedanta, which is you merge your individuality and non-dual pure consciousness. Eating sugar is what bhaktas want. Bhaktas don't want to become sugar, they want to eat sugar. They want to dwell for an eternity in a higher eternal heaven with their beloved personal God, in an eternal loving relationship, worshiping God and serving God. So they'll get that. Both of these forms of liberation are equally true and equally valuable, and it's a matter of preference which one you choose. Okay, so this is in a nutshell Sri Ramakrishna's non-sectarian philosophy of Vijnana Vedanta. Now, how does it serve as the basis of the harmony of all religions? This is the next topic I wanted to discuss. Sri Ramakrishna is famous for having taught the harmony of all religions. Joto Mot Toto Pot is one of his famous Bengali teachings. As many fades, so many paths. But my particular favorite in this regard is his teaching, Tini Ananto Patho Ananto. The divine is infinite, and therefore the paths to the divine are also infinite. It's a very profound teaching. And he explains why there are infinite paths to the infinite divine. Because the divine is infinite, therefore the path should also be infinite. The paths to the divine should also be infinite. So it's a very logical kind of argument he's making here. And to explain his doctrine of the harmony of religions a little bit more concretely, I'd like to bring in a distinction proposed by an American Christian theologian named Alan Race, R-A-C-E. He distinguished three ways of thinking about the world religions. And these are very famous terms now, so some of you might be familiar with them. Religious exclusivism, religious inclusivism, and religious pluralism, okay? Now, what is religious exclusivism? Religious exclusivism is the view that my religion alone is true and leads to salvation or liberation. All other religions are wrong. They're hopeless and they don't lead to salvation. They may even lead to an eternal hell. Religious inclusivism, the second view, is that my religion is the greatest, it's the highest, it's the best. Other religions are not totally wrong. They're not totally hopeless, but they're in some sense lower than mine. They're somehow lesser than mine. They're not, those other religions are not as great as my religion, or maybe they only lead indirectly to the highest goal, whereas my religion leads directly to the highest goal. So in all forms of religious inclusivism, there's always a structure of higher and lower. There's always a hierarchy. My religion is the best. Your religions are not totally wrong, but they're lower than mine. They're somehow lesser or inferior. Okay. Now, religious pluralism, the third paradigm, this is the view that my religion is, I believe that my religion is true and can lead to the highest goal, but your religion equally leads to the highest goal. Other religions are equally valuable and equally true. This is religious pluralism, putting all the different world's religions on an equal footing. Okay. This was Sri Ramakrishna's position. Sri Ramakrishna taught a Hindu religious pluralism, okay, on the basis of his philosophy of Vijnana Vedanta. Because remember, the most fundamental tenet of Vijnana Vedanta is that the ultimate reality is limitless and infinite, both personal and impersonal, both with form and without form, with attributes, without attributes, both within this universe and beyond this universe. So it's a very, very expansive conception of ultimate reality. On that basis, what Sri Ramakrishna taught is that both theistic religions and non-theistic religions are like Advaita Vedanta, most forms of Buddhism, for instance. All of these different paths lead to the same goal. What is the goal? According to Sri Ramakrishna, the goal of life is to realize some form or some aspect of one and the same impersonal, personal, infinite, divine reality. Okay. It doesn't matter whether you realize some form of the personal God or whether you realize non-dual pure consciousness, it's the same infinite divine. Everybody's reaching the same goal, even though they have different realizations of the same divine. He used a parable, a metaphor to explain this. He says, imagine there's an animal on a tree. One person goes to this tree, sees that the animal is green, and then comes back to his friends and says, hey, I saw this beautiful green animal on this tree. Go check it out. So then friend number 2 goes to the tree, and all he can find is a red animal. He doesn't see a green animal, but he sees a red animal. He comes back to his friend. He says, hey, why'd you say it was green? I saw a red animal. Then they start quarreling. Then friend number 3 goes to the same tree, sees that the animal is yellow, and then comes back and argues with the other 2 friends. So these 3 friends are arguing with each other. It's red, it's green, it's yellow, and so on. Finally, one person tells them, hey, I live under this tree. I know what this animal is. This animal is a chameleon. So you're all right. You're right. You're all right. The chameleon changes colors. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's red. Sometimes it has no color at all. So you're all right. This is Sri Ramakrishna's understanding of God. This Vijnana Vedanta is the view that God is infinite, limitless, both personal and impersonal, with form, without form. And notice, the colorless chameleon is not somehow more true or more real, more authentic than the chameleon with color. Both are equally real. Both are equally true. Both are equally fundamental. Exactly like that, Brahman and Shakti are equally real, like fire and its power to burn. And therefore, theistic religions like Judaism, like Christianity, like Islam, like Vaishnavism, like so many theistic Hindu traditions, all of them are placed on an equal footing with Advaita Vedanta. Whereas classical Advaita Vedantins will be reluctant to put them on an equal footing. They're going to say, actually, one of our great monks named Swami Tapasyanandaji, he was a vice president of our order. He used to say, imagine Mount Everest. Classical Advaita Vedantins, traditional Advaita Vedantins, are like they're as if standing on the peak of Mount Everest, looking down from the peak and saying, "Hey, you bhaktas, you guys are also good. You guys are at the base camp, but after many lifetimes, you'll be able to make the trek up to where we're standing, right? So there's still a higher and lower kind of hierarchy. So it's Advaita Vedanta is more of a kind of inclusivism, religious inclusivism, because there's still a higher and lower. Non-dual pure consciousness is a higher truth than the personal God. Sri Ramakrishna goes further. He teaches a full-blown religious pluralism on the basis of the non-dual philosophy of Vijnana Vedanta, and he does not say that the personal God is somehow lower or a lesser truth than non-dual pure consciousness, and therefore he is happy to embrace all of the devotional traditions throughout the world, any that you can think of, whether it's Sikhism or Islam or Christianity or Vaishnavism, all of these. He says these can equally take you to the highest goal of liberation and no higher and lower. And finally, I wanted to mention that, so what I've discussed so far is very briefly, Sri Ramakrishna's non-sectarian philosophy of Vijnana Vedanta. If you want details on that, please look at chapter 1 of my book, Infinite Paths to Infinite Reality. And then I explain how he derives a very sophisticated and very liberal doctrine of the harmony of all religions, a full-blown religious pluralism, from his philosophy of Vijnana Vedanta. This is discussed in chapter 3 of my book, Infinite Paths to Infinite Reality. And finally, I wanted to mention briefly that Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, and Holy Mother Sharada Devi derived a spiritual ethics of social service on the basis of Vijnana Vedanta as well. So what is this? Of course, the motto of your organization, as far as I'm aware, is love all, serve all. It's a beautiful motto. Exactly like that, Sri Ramakrishna used to teach, Shiva Jnane Jivir Seva. Serve others in a spirit of worship by trying to see the same infinite divine in all beings. In all beings, not just human beings, but all beings. If we can really see the same divine in everybody, as the Vijnani sees the divine in everybody, then naturally we'll want to worship God by serving others, by serving these beings. This is what Sri Ramakrishna called Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. Sri Ramakrishna used to distinguish between two terms in Bengali and Sanskrit, Maya and Daya. Many of you know these terms. He explained that Maya is selfish attachment to me and mine. I love my spouse because she is my spouse. I love my child because he is my child. I love my house because it's my house. I love my country because it's my country. This is called Maya. By contrast, Daya is compassion, universal love for everybody, for all beings, because when we see the same divine in everybody, we don't make these distinctions between mine and not mine, mine and yours. We are all one family, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. This is Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. Swami Vivekananda was tremendously impressed with Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, Shiva Jnana Jiva Seva. And when he went to London, he taught a four-part lecture series on practical Vedanta. How do we make Vedanta practical? And this is exactly how we make Vedanta practical. He says, instead of going to these temples and worshiping God there, that's fine. But the highest temple is the human body. The highest temple of the divine is the human body. And we worship God by serving human beings in the human body. This is what Swami Vivekananda called practical Vedanta. You make Vedanta practical by practicing love toward everybody, by seeing that divine oneness in everybody and serving people accordingly. And finally, Holy Mother Sharada Devi, the wife of Sri Ramakrishna, she used to say, her on her just days before she left her body, she gave this piece of advice. It's a very, very profound teaching. She said, "No one is a stranger. Learn to make the whole world your own." Let me repeat that. Nobody is a stranger. Learn to make the whole world your own. This is her way of putting Vasudeva Kutumbakam. Everybody is the same divine, manifesting playfully in different forms. We should never feel that I have my family, they have their family, this is my country, that's their country, this is my religion, that's their religion. We should never think like that. We are all part of one vast, not just global family, but universal family, cosmic family. We all belong to the same family, and we should love and serve each other accordingly. Thank you very much. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Swami Medhananda for sharing his wisdom with all of us this morning. Now we shall have a short break and reconvene for Satya Darpan.
प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा गजवदना जय गणनाथा गजवदना जय गणनाथा गजवदना जय गणनाथा गजवदना जय गणनाथा प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक विघ्न विनाशक विनायक विघ्न विनाशक विनायक सुरमुनि वंदित विनायक सुरमुनि वंदित विनायक सुरमुनि वंदित विनायक प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा गजवदना जय गणनाथा जय गणनाथा प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक विद्यादायक बुद्धिप्रदायक विघ्न विनाशक विनायक विनाशक विनायक सुरमुनि वंदित विनायक सुरमुनि वंदित विनायक सुरमुनि वंदित विनायक प्रथम वंदना गणनाथा तुम बिन प्राण नहीं हो साई मेरे तुम बिन प्राण नहीं हो साई मेरे तुम बिन प्राण नहीं हो साई मेरे बिन प्राण नहीं हो साई मेरे सब भक्तों का तुम हो सहाय शिवशङ्कर प्रेमावतार साई राम नानकेशु महावीर शिवशङ्कर प्रेमावतार साई राम तुम हो मेरे प्राण ओ साई मेरे ओ साई तुम हो साई भगवान तुम हो साई भगवान तुम हो साई भगवान तुम हो साई भगवान तुम बिन प्राण नहीं ओ साई मेरे
जय जय रामा जानकी रामा 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 रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम
मधुवन मुरली श्याम मुरारी मधुवन मुरली श्याम मुरारी मधुवन मुरली श्याम मुरारी मधुवन मुरली श्याम मुरारी सावरिया मोरे रास सावरिया मोरे रास विहारी सावरिया मोरे रास विहारी गोकुल नंदन हे गिरिधारी गोकुल नंदन हे गिरिधारी गोकुल नंदन हे गिरिधारी गोकुल नंदन हे गिरिधारी दीनन के तुम भव भयहारी 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 दीनन के तुम मधुवन मुरली श्याम मुरारी मधुवन मुरली श्याम मुरारी सावरिया मोरे रास विहारी सावरिया मोरे रास विहारी गोकुल नंदन हे गिरधारी गोकुल नंदन हे गिरधारी दीनन के तुम भव भयहारी दीनन के तुम भव भयहारी दीनन के तुम भव भयहारी दीनन के तुम निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना काशायाम्बरवेषधारण कलियुगवतारा काशायाम्बरवेषधारण कलियुगवतारा नित्यरञ्जना निर्मलचरिता निरुपमयोगीन्द्रा नित्यरञ्जना निर्मलचरिता निरुपमयोगीन्द्रा महातेज नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा महातेज नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा महातेज नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज दल नयना काशायाम्बरवेषधारण कलियुगवतारा काशायाम्बरवेषधारण कलियुगवतारा नित्यरञ्जना निर्मलचरिता निरुपमयोगीन्द्रा महातेज नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा महातेज नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा महातेज नटराज विराजा आशपाशनाशईशा महातेज नटराज विराजा निरुपम गुण सदना चरणा नीरज नयना
Shri Sai Ram, offering our humble salutations at the lotus feet of our Master, Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai, revered elders, devotees from across the globe, staff and students, a very good morning and welcome to Satya Darpan. Yesterday, Swami began his discourse by defining the role of a Sadguru as the one who shows the way to world peace, who removes selfishness and narrow-mindedness, and most importantly, who teaches us equanimity. While explaining the 4th, 5th and 6th shlokas of the 15th chapter, Sadguru pointed out how these verses progress from the understanding that we are beyond our physical body, free from Katritva and Bhoktritva Bhava, to the realization that the qualities of the mind Raga and Dvesha do not belong to us. And finally, at the level of the self, that all are one, devoid of Ahankara and Mamakara. Expounding on the 7th shloka, Vishvam spurati yatredam taranga iva sagare tattvameva na sandehaha chinmurte vijvaro bhava. Sage Ashtavakra tells King Janaka, the entire universe arises and shines in you just as waves in the ocean. Without doubt, you are that very reality embodied as pure consciousness. Be free from all afflictions and restlessness. Sadhguru further emphasized that every individual possesses different aptitudes based on their samskaras, which lead them to undertake various actions. However, a Jnani never discriminates and perceives all with equal vision, Samadarshinaha. Stating that freedom is the most cherished value across all cultures and religions, he concluded by saying that the best way to attain true freedom is to be desireless. We now pray to Sadhguru to bless us all with his divine discourse on the Ashtavakra Gita.
Sahana bhavatu Sahanau bhunatu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Our Upanishads teach us that the whole creation has emerged from that supreme Brahman. And Brahman is that formless, nameless, attributeless consciousness. It is aware. Its nature is consciousness, but it does not have any particular attribute like it is aware of the happiness or the sorrow. In the sense, is it happy or sad awareness? Or is it an awareness of right and wrong? It is simply awareness. Like electricity is free. Whether it passes through a red bulb or a yellow bulb or a blue bulb, the color that comes out of it, it depends on the bulb, not on the electricity. Likewise, this Brahman consciousness, which is our true nature, as we all know by now, is free from all vikaras. Vikaras mean any modifications. It appears to have got modified, but it never gets modified. It is always free. That is the nature of the self. From that self, as the Upanishad says, all the elements came into existence. Tasmadvaya tasmat akashat sambhutaha akashad vayo vayo ragni agnirapa adbha prithvi prithvya oshadhayaha oshadhibhyonnam annat purushaha, it is said. How did the creation happen? In one small verse, Taittiriya Upanishad summarizes it, saying from that formless, nameless entity, the Parabrahman, emerged the Akasha, the first element, which is space. This is not in science, they don't consider Akasha as an element at all. But in our spirituality, we consider that subtle space in which everything exists. Like this whole auditorium is nothing but space. Outside the auditorium, inside the auditorium, everything is space. That space appears to have been modified because this is inside the auditorium, that is outside the auditorium. But if you remove all the walls, is there a difference between that space and this space? It is not. Earlier, this was a football ground. Later, it was turned into an auditorium. Before becoming an auditorium, the space that was called as football ground seems to have been modified into a space which is now known as the auditorium. Its functionality has changed, its use has changed, the way it looks and what is done with it is changed. But the space itself has not undergone any changes. If I remove all these walls, it is happy to become football field again. It has no problem. It does not complain that I don't want to be the football field again. I like to be an auditorium. It doesn't think like that. So that is the idea, that God is unmodified. Like that, the space, the first element, space, is unmodified. The next element is air. Air is also unmodified. How? If it passes through a fragrant garden, it carries the fragrance of the flowers. Now, if the air blows across a sewage tank, it carries the stink or the stench of the sewage tank. But is it really being burdened by both the fragrance or the stench? No, air is free. And next it passes through another garden, it will pick up the fragrance of that and it will continue. It has no problem. When an animal breathes that air, it has no problem. Or the human breathes the air, it has no problem. Or trees breathe and breathe out, it has no problem. It doesn't say, I am very precious, I am very special, I am very sacred. I don't want to be breathed by animals. I don't want to be breathed by lower beings, lower humans, fools and illiterates and poor people. I don't want to be with them. I want to be with the rich and the mighty and the intellectuals. It doesn't say that. Air goes everywhere. It is free. Appears to be bound, but it is always free. Appears to have modified itself as a fragrant, scented air or stinky, stenchy air. But both are not true. Because it just bears it for some time, but it doesn't really get modified in the true sense. So again you see nature, which is born out of God, is very similar to God. Air does not get any problem if it goes through a garden or goes through a sewer. It is okay with both. Then look at the next element, fire. Fire does not have a problem. Put anything in fire, it will burn it. It doesn't say, no, put nice things only ghee and flowers and grains and nice things. I will not burn dead bodies, I don't burn garbage. No, it burns everything. Put garbage in it, fire will burn that garbage also. So also it will burn sacred things that are offered. It has no problem. It appears to be burning differently when you put different things in it, but the property to burn things, it does not get modified with different types of things. It does the same job for everyone. It doesn't think of some as rich or poor or some as sacred or others as unholy. In everywhere, fire has the same. It gives light and heat to everyone who comes to it. It doesn't differentiate. A poor man also goes and a cold night, winter night, lights up some fire and then gets the heat from it. The rich man also benefits the same way. He may have a sophisticated system at home, a fireplace or something. But the fire's property to give heat remains the same whether it is for the poor or the rich. So it does not discriminate like God. Then look at water. Water does not discriminate too. Put it anywhere, it will go. If you put it in a tumbler, it takes the shape of the tumbler. If you put it into a pot, it takes the shape of the pot. You put it into a tube, it will take the shape of the tube. It doesn't complain. I don't want to be in tube, or I don't want to be in a pot or a pan. Wherever you send it goes. By gravity, it goes wherever you send it. It does not complain. It does not have a problem. Rich people also drink and get their thirst quenched. Poor also do that. Animals also drink. So it is for all, like God is for all. And earth, the final element, fifth element, it bears everybody. Dharayati. It bears all. Animals also walk on it. Humans also walk on it. Saints also walk on it. Sinners also walk on it. It gives food to everybody. It does not discriminate. It bears everybody's weight. It does not complain. It does not reject anyone. It accepts all. Look at this, how close it is to the nature of God, the self, which does not discriminate, does not get modified, does not have any preferences. It is same at all times for all beings. That awareness, consciousness is the same. And then comes this human creation of human beings. We have a mind. That mind causes all the trouble. Trees don't have a mind. Animals don't have a mind. They have instincts. They have some intelligence they have. How to survive, how to save themselves. But they are very basic. This intelligence of humans, which is the mind, which is full of sankalpa, vikalpa, it also has ahankara, the ego. That is the problem. Till sankalpa, vikalpa also is not a problem. But who is making that decision? Who is making that choice? I am making that choice. Who is that I? I, this body, with this name, with this position, with this definition, with these identities, doing things. That is where the problem starts. Before that, there is no problem. So this I-ness is the reason why we get stuck and we discriminate and differentiate and we treat some as better and some as lesser. Because we identify all of them with their body and mind. And the whole effort of Ashtavakra Gita is to help us establish ourselves in the higher idea of that self and not the lower idea of body and mind. As long as we are not convinced about it fully, we will never be able to overcome it. Theoretically, you can read it 1,000,000 times. But unless you are thoroughly convinced that you are not the body and the mind, you are the self, you cannot stop discriminating, you cannot stop differentiating, you cannot stop being partial to some. You cannot stop being nice to some and bad to others. You cannot stop desiring for some things and avoiding some other things. It cannot happen unless you are 100% convinced. 99.99% also is not sufficient. As I said, in my subject, the passing marks are 100 marks. Either you pass or you don't pass. That's how it works here. It doesn't work 99.99%. You have to pass. That's all I can say. Yes, you worked well, you have become better, but have you passed? No. Our passing mark in spirituality is 100%. You totally believe you are not the body and the mind, you are only the self. That's when you pass. Otherwise, you don't pass at all. So this idea that I am the supreme self and not just the body-mind complex is not to be understood theoretically, because then you will also practice it theoretically. You will be saying it with your mouth that yes, everybody is same, all are one, but deep inside you cannot feel so. You will definitely discriminate. You will have attachments for few, aversions for the others. You will want somebody and some things, and you would avoid other things and other people. All this will happen because of that incomplete belief or conviction in the self. So what does Ashtavakra say in the next shloka? I heard all these nicely. Listen up, 15.8 shloka, the next shloka on page number 209 says, Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva natra moham kurushva bho jnanaswarupo bhagavan atma tvam prakruteha paraha shraddhasva tat shraddhasva. Oh dear one, develop faith, develop faith. Simply learning it as shlokas is not going to take you too far. Develop that complete conviction, complete faith in this, what I am saying, that you are not just the body, mind, you are beyond that. Prakruteha paraha means you are beyond these things made of your nature, like the elements or even the mind and thoughts and emotions and intelligence. You are beyond all these things. Shraddhasva, develop that confirmed faith in it. Not shaky, not weak, not feeble, not incomplete. Complete faith that I am the self only and nothing else. Develop complete faith. So he says, Shraddhasva tata shraddhasva. Develop faith, oh dear, develop faith. In what? Na atra moham kurushva bho. Don't be deluded here. You get deluded very easily because this is how we have been told. That the moment we were born, we were told this is who you are. This is who you are. Actually, if you carefully observe the little kids, when they do not know that that is their name, because if somebody addresses them, let us say the name of the child is Ravi. You will say, Ravi, come here. Ravi, eat this. Ravi, go there. Ravi, sit quietly. Ravi, do not talk, we say. The child also says to himself like that. Now Ravi wants to eat. Now Ravi wants to go. Ravi wants to sleep. It says like that. Have you noticed that? Because it still does not identify that name with the form. It is still in the formless state only. The consciousness is so subtle of the child that it thinks of itself as something other than Ravi. Because everybody addresses him as Ravi, he also addresses himself as Ravi. But can you believe that that child actually knows that he is not the Ravi that these people are addressing him as? He is somebody else who is experiencing everything in the world. So he says, Ravi is sleepy, Ravi wants to sleep now. The child itself says like that. And that's a very surprising thing, but that is basically this concept, that the child also knows that who he is different from how people think of him. People think of that child as a boy by name Ravi, the son of so and so. But how does the child think of himself? I am I, being addressed by them as Ravi. So when he has to tell something about what that child wants, he also addresses himself as Ravi and asks this, Ravi is hungry, Ravi is sleepy, Ravi wants to go. He also talks to himself in a third person way. That itself is a proof that when the child is born, he is not associating himself with the body and mind. He is associating himself with the experience, the awareness that is experiencing through his body and through his mind. It's so clear actually in children. But once they grow up a little more, they'll tell you, what is this Ravi who wants to go there, Ravi wants to go here? You are Ravi. Say, I want to go there, I want to go here. Then the child gets confused. No, I thought that is how you people call me. Ravi, come here, Ravi, go there. So I am also calling Ravi, let's eat, Ravi, Ravi needs to sleep. But now we force upon that child this untruth, that if you talk like this, people will think you are mad. Tell that I am Ravi and I want to sleep, I want to eat. Now what you have done, superimposed and actually forced this idea of body-mind on that poor little child's consciousness. Now the child is going to believe for all its life that it is that body. It is the mind. Whose fault? It's the parents' fault. It's the people around that made him to do like that, isn't it? That is why Madallasa, the great queen, that in Markandeya Purana the story comes, she raised her children by not calling them by their names as the bodies and minds. She would tell their property, their quality, their true nature. Shuddhosi, buddhosi, niranjanosi, samsara maya parivarjitosi. You are Shuddha, you are pure, you are Buddha, you are aware. You are Niranjana, you are blemishless, sinless, guileless. Samsara maya parivarjitosi. This all maya, what he is saying here, natra moham, or the moha of the samsara, the moha maya we say. The delusion that I am the body, I am the mind, and this needs to be enjoyed, and this world is real, and that is all it is. You are beyond all these delusions and illusions and wrong understanding and ignorance. Mother Madalasa sings to the children like that. And she says, samsara nidra, samsara mohat, something, samsara nidra, tyaja moha nidra. Samsara swapna, tyaja moha nidra. This world is a dream. Therefore, stop sleeping or stop believing that the dream is real. And give up this sleep, give up this ignorance of believing that this world is real. And remember that you, the self, who is pure, who is unblemished, who is ever free and aware, that is what you are. So she puts the name also. You can read the story, I don't remember, but she calls all these children by some horrible names so that they never develop any ego about the body. Suppose you call your name as some Yuvraj, you start believing you are some Yuvraj or something like that. Or you call yourself as Tripura Sundari, you will start believing. No, people, they put names like that. But she puts horrible names for all the children to make sure that they never develop attachment to the body. Once there was a music program of here, and these were all singers from Rajasthan who had come. And they used to sing this Sufi and that kind of music. So when I asked him what is his name, he said, my name is Kachara Khan. I tell Kachara Khan, is it your real name? He said, yes. This is what your parents put. He said, yes. I said, but why would somebody on earth would call somebody as Kachara? Kachara means garbage. That you have called, your name is garbage. Why did they put the name? So that I never develop ego, he said. Imagine an unlettered singer from Rajasthan whose parents, thought of such idea that the boy should never grow up and develop an ego. So they called his name only as garbage. So that all the time he'll remember this body is mere garbage. What else it is? Bhagavan would say, it is a beautiful Telugu poem, I don't know, but he would say it's a bag of feces and urine. What else is it? You are carrying it all around with so much pride. What is it? Malinamu Dumpa, used to say. It's full of dirt and filth and garbage. And even as we decorate our skin and makeup and put beautiful dresses, what is inside us? All the feces and urine and all the dirt and garbage only. So we are garbage cans moving around. That is how they think of themselves. They put their names in such a way so that they never develop ego. And they are always reminded of what this body is all about. Then if you don't want to associate with the body, good for you. Now tell yes, that is the name of the body, the garbage bin. But I am the self. And that will help you to remember this truth over and over again. The other idea is to put name itself like that you are the self. All these beautiful names are there. Achintya is there. Or you call it yourself as Brahman, or you call it yourself as Ishvara, or call yourself as Satya, or such beautiful names. That will also remind you that that is my true nature. That is name, not name of the body, that is the name of my nature. Some good name you should put so that you are always reminded of the truth. If you are too attached to the body, then put horrible names so that you never like to call yourself by that name. And you always distance yourself from that name. Or put some great names so that you are reminded of the greatness of that name and try to work towards it. So this is the idea why our ancients were very clever. So cleverly and carefully they used to choose the nama aksharas based on your jatakam and all that. They will choose the letter with which your name should start. It has its own effect. And then they will also choose very correct names to ensure that you are always aware and reminded of your true nature. So Kachara Khan's parents could think of it as a name, and he's become a famous singer. They sing that particular style from Rajasthan, you see. And he's quite famous. But anyway, he did not change his name. I've seen so many kids, once they go to school, they complain, please change my name. This name is too long, too big, children are teasing me. I also did that when I was small. Madhusudan was a very heavy name for small children. So I used to tell, this is a bad name. Some small, simple name you should have put, That time all these cinematic names were coming up. So put the such names. Even Hanumant was even miserable than Madhusudan. That sounded even worse. So Bharati always says, thank God my name is simple. I am not some, Chandamundeshwari or something like that. So the idea is that you have to think of names in a way that it will remind you of some truth, of your existence. Either remind that your body is a garbage bin, or it should remind you of the nature of the self. Between them, you should choose the names. Either choose good names that you are the self, or choose bad names so that you don't ever develop attachment to the body. That is the idea. So he says that don't get deluded by these worldly things. Develop faith, 100% faith and conviction that you are the self and nothing less than that. He says, Jnana Swarupo. You are the very embodiment of the true wisdom of the self. Jnana Swarupa you are. Put a name like this, Jnana Swarupa. Such a beautiful name. Or put a name like Bhagavan. Bhagavan Atma, Tvam Prakrite Paraha. You are Bhagavan. Bhaga means effulgence, light, knowledge, wisdom. So you are that very embodiment of knowledge, that wisdom, the self, that illumination of the self. You are full of prakasha, you are full of illumination. That is what you are. And you are beyond this nature. Prakriti means the nature elements with which this body is made. You are beyond that. You are not that. Your paraha means you are beyond that. You might be moving around in this garbage can, but that is not your nature. You are self, effulgent, aware. That is you. Remember that. And how do you remember? With complete shraddha, complete faith, not some half faith. Complete conviction. And don't get deluded. Every time a new emotion comes, it makes you feel so good. Immediately cut it there, saying, yes, all this is nice, but this is not my nature, because I am not supposed to get modified. My nature is steadiness, equanimity in all situations. What is this all excitement about? What is this depression about? What is this negativity about? Or even for that matter, what is this positivity about? Everything is not my nature, because that is not I am supposed to be. I am supposed to be completely steady in my awareness and nothing else. So any fluctuations is not me. That alarm bell should ring within when your shraddha is paripurna, complete faith. Ours is incomplete faith. That is why it keeps shaking every other day. One day we are very good, when we are in good situation, everybody is around. But next day everything changes. Why? Because our faith is not complete. If faith was complete, then it will not happen. That is why it's such an important shloka. It says Shraddha, Shraddhasya, Shraddhasva. Develop that complete faith that you are the self and nothing less than that. Then let the world come to you. You will deal with it. But how many times even we heard, where is the reason that do we really believe? No. Because as I said, vichara is important. Self-analysis, self-inquiry is very important. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Continuously, and the answer should be the same every day. I am the self, I am the self, I am the self. And that should not be a lip service. That should really come from inside. I am the self. If you get any other answer every morning, it means you have not yet got the faith. I am so and so, I am so and so. You have not got the faith. It should really come from the depths of your being that I am the self. The day you get that as the first answer in the morning, you have achieved. But I know every time we wake up, first thing in the morning, oh, I got this work, I got this to do, I have to finish that, cook this, eat that, study that. These are the first thoughts, right? Where is the first thought that I am the self? Never it happens. Then we send you to Suprabhatam and prayers and everywhere, try to kind of remind that you are that higher thing and not these lower things. At least that way you start. But most of the people in the world don't start that way. Most of the people start thinking of themselves as the body, mind, and then social media and all kinds of things. So they always continuously reinforce this idea that I am the body and the mind and all this that people think of me. That is why Bhagavan used to say, you are not one but three. The one you think you are, the one others think you are, and the one you really are. One you think you are is the body, because that is the name given. Poor that little child Ravi, who still now thought he was different from that body, but now he's been made to think he's the body. That. Then second is the others think you are. Others know you not just as the body, they know you as your emotions, as your thought, as your personality, which is a combination of your body and your thoughts, minds. He's a good person. Good person does not refer to the body. Good person refers to the person's mind, his disposition. That is generally a good person, helpful, kind, considerate. That is a bad person. Bad person doesn't refer to the body. They will see he's an ugly person if he's not looking good. But bad person means his mind is bad. He is not a nice person. He doesn't help people. He harms everybody. He is selfish. That is what others think of you are. So the second person. Third one is who you really are beyond these two. Prakrite paraha. Jnana swarupa bodha. You are basically the wisdom personified. That is your true self, which is beyond the body and mind. That is what Bhagavan used to say. You are beyond the body and the mind. But how many of us believe in it? We don't believe in it. That is why we struggle. The belief in this idea is the most important ingredient for success on the spiritual path. If you don't have a full, complete belief in this, you will not go anywhere. You will not go with these shallow beliefs that I am self theoretically, but deep inside, I am so-and-so, I am daughter of so-and-so, son of so-and-so, husband, wife of so-and-so, child of so-and-so, brother, sister of so-and-so, worker or a office or a client or employee. Doesn't work then. It doesn't work. A beautiful shloka comes from our Kathopanishad. It's not mentioned here, but I just reading it for academic purpose. It says, how is the self? Can it be attained by any of the other tools that we have at our disposal, like the body, mind, thoughts, analysis? No. So it says, naiva vacha na manasa praptum. By word we cannot attain it, cannot describe it. By mind we cannot understand or comprehend it. Praptum shakyo na chakshusha. With eyes we cannot see it. Eyes are incapable of seeing that self. So asti iti bruvto anyatra katham taduplabhyate. So when you cannot see it, when you cannot speak about it, when you cannot even think about it, how do you attain it is the question. Nobody can speak about it. Nobody can think about it. Nobody can see it. Then how do you attain it is the question that Upanishad asks, and replies, Asti iti bruvataha. The one who says it exists, even though I can't see it, I can't speak about it, I cannot taste, smell, touch, all other senses included. I can't even think about it. That is how self is, because like eyes see everything, but eyes cannot see themselves. Likewise, self experiences everything. Like the eyes see everything, but they cannot see themselves. Like that, the self sees everything, but cannot be seen by itself. That is the idea. So it is so subtle. So how do you attain it? He says the only qualification is asti iti, the one who still believes that it exists. Because it is very easy to say it does not exist. That's why so many atheists in the world. Show me where is God. How is God? How tall, how big, how small? We cannot show them because there is nothing like that. We can show statues of some God that we believe in because we believe those gods come in different shapes, forms in different times. But the Brahman, the idea of the supreme consciousness, how do you show? How do you measure? How do you, does it have a length, breadth, weight, height? Nothing. It is just consciousness. Consciousness cannot be calculated. So what do we do then? How do we attain then? He says the very first qualification is asti iti bruvataha. Anyatra katham taduplabhyate. The one who believes it exists and says it that yes, it exists despite not being seen, not being heard, not being even thought of. It can still be experienced. The one who believes in it, to him alone, there is a possibility of that experience. For others, it is not possible, it says. And the next sloka also very nice in that only, in that Kathopanishad it says, Asti iti uplabdhavyasya tattvabhavena chobayoho asti ityev uplabdhasya tattvabhava prasidati. It means the one who believes that it exists, what exists? That self exists, despite not being able to see it, hear it, taste, smell, touch, or calculate, measure, weigh it. Despite that, book says yes, it exists. What happens to such a person? And there is this tattva bhava, the experience of the self. So I have not experienced the self, but I tell that I know it exists. Why? Because Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharanam. I believe in the word of the scriptures, I believe in the words of the Guru. I have not experienced it, but I believe in it. So what happens? There is one person here who believes in it, and then the self, the experience of it also exists somewhere. Now between the two, the sloka says, the one who believes that it exists, that self becomes happy with this person who believes in it and makes him experience itself. When do we go and meet somebody? When we are happy with them, isn't it? When we are unhappy with people, we avoid them. But when we are happy with people, we go on our own and try to meet them. Like that, the one who believes that it exists despite not being able to be empirically measured, and still that faith is firm, that self reveals itself. Self reveals itself to such a person who believes in it. How beautiful the thought itself is. Look at the Upanishadic thoughts. It clarifies our confusion. I can't hear it, I can't smell, taste, I cannot touch it, I can't even describe it, I cannot think about it, comprehend it. How do I know it exists? Still believe it exists. Why? Somebody has experienced it and written in the scriptures. Some guru has experienced it and is talking about it. Develop Shraddha. Shraddha sakarita Shraddha yaya vastupalabhyate se. Saddhihi yaya vastupalabhyate. Shraddha is about believing in something that you cannot see. If you see and believe, it is only a fact. It is only a fact of the matter. It is not something great to. If I can see that is a flower and say it is a flower, what is the big deal? But these people believe in Guru, in the scriptures. They have Shraddha. That is why he is saying Shraddhasvat, Shraddhasvatat Shraddhasva. Believe, oh dear, believe that it exists. And you are beyond this Prakriti. You are the Paramatma. You are the self. Believe. Because the moment you believe in it, that experience of the self will happen to you. Why? Because it becomes like as if it becomes happy with you. That you believe that I am here. And then it will reveal itself to you. So why the self has not revealed itself to all of us? What is the reason? You don't have scriptures? You don't have Guru? Does it not exist? Then why it has not revealed to us? Shraddha illa. What kind of Shraddha? Complete, paripurna Shraddha, that I am that self. That is not there. Simple as that. That is why we wake up every day with this identity again and again. That I am so and so, my wife is so and so, my children are such and such. There are good people, bad people, healthy and sick people. I have work to do, I have this to achieve, that to accomplish. These were good things that happened yesterday and these are bad things that happen. All the time. So do you really have the beliefs? This sloka straight away puts the ball in the court of the sadhaka. Says if you haven't experienced the self, it is not because that does not exist. It is not that you do not know about it because you have heard about it from the scriptures. It's not that somebody has not experienced at all. No, somebody has experienced, Guru has experienced. Then why is that I am not experiencing? Why? What is the problem? Where is the gap? The gap is in your belief. If you completely, fully, firmly believe that it exists and I am that, it will reveal itself to you. So how powerful this sloka. That is why I took some time to stop and explain. Nisargadatta Maharaj is one Swamiji, we know, he is also known as BD Baba because he used to sell BDs. BDs are these cigarette-like things, which are indigenous Indian-made things. They'll roll up all that tobacco in a leaf and that they will tie it up and all is a cheap cigarette in a way. And these village people and workers and laborers will keep smoking that. So he used to make that and sell. That was his main profession. And he had shops across Bombay, small shops where he used to sell these, and that was his main source of income. One day it so happened that one of his friends took him to a Swamiji, Maharaj. His name is Siddharameshwara Swamiji. And of Navanatha Sampradaya. There was a Sampradaya in Maharashtra-Karnataka border called Navanatha Sampradaya. They believe in Kabir Das, they believe in like that 9 different types of people. So he took him just as a chance meeting. I am going for satsang, are you coming? Let's go. So like that they went. He heard the satsang. And what did this Swamiji say? He told him, just focus on this thought, I am, asti iti. What Upanishad say, asti iti uplabdhavyasya. Asti iti, just focus on this one thought, I am. I am man, no. I am woman, no. I am old, no. I am young, no. I am healthy, no. I am sick, no. I am happy, no. I am sad, no. I am, that's all. Don't give any attributes to that I am. Don't give as happy, healthy, old, young, boy, girl, rich, poor. Don't give any of these upadhis, attributes to it. Just focus on this idea, I am. That's all was the mantra given to this man. And he says that he has never chanted a mantra in his life, never read a scripture, never did all these sadhana, puja, yajna, homas, yagas, tapas. He just followed his guru's this one word. You know what you've got to do? Just focus on this idea, I am. And don't give it any structure, form, attributes, qualities, qualifications. Avoid everything. Just focus on this pure consciousness, I am. And he started practicing it. And he attained it. So others got surprised that how come you experience that and others are not experiencing? Because their I am was not pure. Their I am was with those tail behind. Boy, girl, young, old, women, rich, poor, not. All that he removed, just focused on this idea of I am. And he attained that enlightenment. And then he also later started preaching. But he never stopped selling BDs, by the way. Because he also he had a wife and children and all that, because he had already married before he met the Guru. So he had responsibilities. And all he knew was how to make these BDs and sell. So he continued to sell the BDs. Of course, he reduced it to just one shop just to basically survive, that's all. He didn't want to make money and make a big chain of BD shops out around Mumbai. No, that was not his desire. He remained as it is, just one shop, whatever was coming, he was eating and feeding with that. And he was meeting people who would come seeking his guidance. It became quite popular actually. But he died of throat cancer at the end of it. Maybe the BD karma was there. But he died, but he was not afraid. When somebody said, oh Swamiji, you are enlightened, you also got cancer. He said, I am the cancer. I identify myself with everything. All is me. Even the cancer is me. So you are not afraid of cancer because it is not something outside or other than you. You get afraid of something who is other than you or outside you. So he said, I am the cancer. That is the kind of clarity. I am not, either I am everything or I am nothing, says Ashtavakra earlier also. So he took the approach, I am everything. That self is everything. So when you say I am, all of us use this sentence, right? I am so and so. I am studying in such and such class. I am the son of so and so. Always we use this I am as the first part of the sentence, and then we qualify it with certain ideas. This mantra is, don't qualify it at all. Just stop at I am and don't say another word, don't think another thought. Stop at just at that I am. And let there be silence after that. And when mind will try to put some word or there, after that I am mother, grandmother, child, stop it, cut it off there. Saying no qualifications to this. Just I am is my nature. That I am mantra is what Nisargadatta Maharaj practiced. It's very powerful. The other day I said, just listen to the silence. Don't try to listen to the sounds. Don't try to listen to your thoughts. Thoughts will come like this, trying to, somehow infiltrate into that pure consciousness. Remove them. It will take some effort to keep dodging them away. After some time, they will stop coming. When they are not welcome, they don't come, these thoughts. It's like, a neighbor who is very chattery and troublesome. If you invite them, open the door, feed them tea, biscuits, he'll come every day and trouble you. If you close the door on that fellow's face, he'll never come again. He'll feel insulted and never come. Same thing you have to do with your thoughts. The moment you say, I am, close the door. No boy, girl, young, old, woman, rich, poor. Don't give it any gap at all. If that gap, some thought will enter. Shut that door then and there. And then sit in that idea of I am. I am, I am, I am. That is all you have to do. Asmi, Asmi. 3 things he told you that time. 3 things are there which qualify Brahman. What are the 3 things? Asti, Bhati, Priyam. In that Bhati, Priyam also you remove. Only Asti, I am. That is Brahman. Aham eva aham avyayaha, says Adi Shankara. I am I, the indestructible I. Just hold on to that thought tight. Don't let go of that thought. And you will experience. How can you not experience? Because the scripture says so and you have Shraddha. So have complete Shraddha and practice this one idea, I am. And then you will realize that you are that. There is no other way. So if we are not realizing that, it's only because we are not able to hold on to that thought of just pure consciousness of I am. We immediately qualify it with some idea of our body or mind. I am beautiful, I am ugly, I am fat, I am thin, I am tall, I am fair, I am dark. That is, or I am mother and father and child and something, or I am intelligent fool, I am dull, I am something we qualify it with. The moment you qualify it, the purity of the thought is contaminated. The practice is I am. That is the mantra that our Nisargadatta Maharaj practiced. And he achieved it. That is the beauty. So he says, Jnana Swarupo, you are the one who is full of that spiritual knowledge that you are. What are you? Nothing. You are, that's all. Then we say, I am that. But the moment I say I am that, I and that become two things. Though it is a way to say Tattvamasi, but that is only a way to say it. Actually, there is no that. That means something other than you. So the real truth is I am only. There is no that, this or them or us or nothing. No qualifications. I am is the qualification. I am that also is to be avoided. So Asmi. So that is the idea. And Gyara Swarupa Bhagavan Atma. See, Bhagavan in this context is that one who is full of spiritual effulgence, the one who is shining with that effulgence. As our Upanishads say, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. There the sun doesn't shine, moon does not shine, stars don't shine, the fire is not there. As it shines, everything else shines. And its shine, everything else shines. That idea of Bhagavan, that self-effulgence, that illumination of the wisdom is you, in which everything else is perceived. That idea. But in Vishnu Purana, there is a definition of Bhagavan, just for academic sake. It says, Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasaha shriyaha. And Jnana Vairagya ho yayo chaiva shannam bhaga itirana. 6 qualities are told for Bhagavan. The word Bhagavan has 6 qualities. That is in Vishnu Purana, which says one is Aishwarya. Aishwarya means endless, repute or fame or prosperity. Aishwarya means very, very rich and prosperous. There is nothing lacking for such a person. Such a person is Aishwarya. Then all kinds of things. Samagrasya Aishwarya means all kinds of things are in his control. He is so rich or so wealthy or so powerful. Then Viryasya, courageous and powerful. Then Yashasha, of good name and fame. Shriyaha, of wealth, material wealth. Then Jnana, wisdom, Vairagya, dispassion. These are the 6 qualities of somebody who has been called as Bhagavan. When we say Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, these are the qualities we think of. Aishwarya, then Virya, Yashaha, Shriyaha, Jnana and Vairagya. Imagine the beauty is that this person has Aishwarya, means all kinds of prosperity and all kinds of things in his control. Then Virya, he is extremely courageous. It means he can go and conquer the earth or anybody. He can get anything that he wants. He has no fear. Yashaha, he has very good name. It means everybody likes him, everybody wants to be with him, everybody wants to be associated with him. Shriya, he has a tremendous wealth. Wealth of knowledge, wealth of material kinds, and all kinds of intelligence and so on and so on. It means he's really somebody who has so much. Also Jnana, he has the ultimate spiritual wisdom, but all of this comes with the 6th quality of Vairagya, dispassion. That is what I say. If you look at this Bhagavan, so much he has built, education, water projects, school, how many hundreds of crores he has spent, he might not have even kept account. That much Aishwarya, Shriya, that much Virya, to courage to take up such tremendous projects, no fear. Then Yashaha, good name, so many people worship him and adore him. And Jnana, he is full of spiritual wisdom, but dispassionate about all of it. He doesn't want any of it for himself. That is why he gets everything. The day he wants it, he won't get it. That is the idea of these Bhagavans. They have everything, yet they are not attached to any of it. And because they are not attached to it, that is why these things keep coming back to them. That is the law of nature. You don't want it, it comes to you. You want it badly, it doesn't come. So these Bhagavans are like that, who are totally dispassionate about all the wonderful things that an ordinary man craves and cries and strives for. yet they cannot get it because they are attached and they are passionate about it. Whereas these people have everything, yet they are unattached to the whole thing. That is Bhagavan. So he says Janaka is a king, right? He has prosperity, name, fame, courage, all that. But he also is teaching you also have the wisdom of the self and also the dispassion for the world. Remember that. You might have the Aishwarya, Virya, Yashaha, Shriyaha, all that is fine. But Jnana Vairagya is also part of you. Be like that, beyond the whatever entanglements of this nature. That is the body and the mind. So this is an amazing shloka you must remember. And whenever you don't experience anything, tell yourself, Shraddhasva, Tat Shraddhasva. Develop faith, develop faith, develop faith that it exists. Develop faith that I am that. Develop faith. That is the key to opening the door. The next shloka 15.9 on 211, it says, Gunaihi samveshtito dehaha tishthat ayati yati cha atma na aganta kimenam anushochasi. Which means, this body, dehaha, gunaihi samveshtito, this is ensnared by the gunas, the instincts, the tendencies, the aptitudes with which you are born. Some people are born singers, some people are born, other like prodigies, sports or so many other ways. They are born like that. Nobody taught them. I've seen children 3-year-old, they are prodigies. They can play piano, they can sing songs, they can remember so much. And many of these kids have finished their education, graduation, post-graduation within 13, 14 years. Something is different about them. Like Adi Shankara, born to be a Jnani. In 8th year, he has given up his world of family and walked away. So not every child does that, right? So something in them is there which is inbuilt. And that inbuilt thing is guna. And generally, these gunas are classified into Rajas, Sattva and Tamas. Last time we saw that Buddhi is also 3 kinds. Rajas is pure thoughts, sattvic thoughts. Sattva is pure thoughts. Rajas is passionate, selfish thoughts. And Tamas is lazy, selfish but also lazy, doesn't want to work. Rajas, selfish but works. Sattva, works but not selfish. That is how these 3 are. An amazing combination of this is what the whole world is. Some days we are good, some days we are selfish, some days we are lazy, depending on which thought or which guna is actually dominating us that time. We experience all the 3 gunas during the day. 8 hours each is what I have already told. Our schedule is described like that, right? Morning 4 to morning 8, evening 4 to evening 8 is Sattva Kala. Means it's a pure time. When day and night meet, that is the pure time. That time you should do pure things like remembering God, chanting good mantras, meditating, engaging in spiritual and good activities, purifying yourself. That is why our schedule is like that. Morning 4 to 8 you are in prayers and doing all the right things, good things. And evening 4 to 8 again you come in prayers. And morning 8 to 4, 8 hours is Rajas Kala. That is the time for activity because sun is up, sun and our bodies are all connected. We are born out of the nature. So all the nature becomes active. We also should become active. So morning 8 to 4, you have to be very active. That is why your classes and all the activities are generally contained within 8 to 4. And night 8 to 4, early in the morning, that is Tamasic Kala. The Kala where your mind, body needs to rest. Inertia is a natural way of your body and mind at that time. That time you should not activate your body, mind. Because that is the time when darkness comes, this melatonin gets secreted. The body responds to the nature. And the moment you wake up, cortisol starts getting secreted. So these are the 2 things that will control your activity or your inertia. So melatonin is getting secreted the moment sun goes down. It's a body's reaction. It wants body to sleep. But we keep awake till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., eat at 12 o'clock, ruin our health and then get into hospitals with all kinds of issues. That is because we are not following the nature's pattern, the circadian rhythm, the law of the nature. Somebody said, live like birds, wake up with birds and sleep with birds. That is the best way to live one's life healthily. Wake up when birds wake up. Just first rays of sun, birds are up. The moment sun goes down, all are back to their trees. No more activity. That is how one should live. If one lives like this, as per the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas rule, they will not fall sick. They will live long and healthy. But we have all, after the advent of electricity and social media and internet and communication, we go on doing things till late into the night. The best sleep, they say, is what you get before 12 midnight. That is the best sleep, that 3-4 hours. So try to sleep early. That is why our rules are like that. You sleep early, wake up early. But nobody likes it. Why? Because by nature we are tamasic. We are people who want to do our own thing. So that is why we spoil our health. So much of lifestyle diseases, all this is result of this wrong discipline. So yes, body is bound by guna. Body needs to follow gunas. There is a Rajasic Kala, body needs to get up and act. Tamasic Kala, night, body needs to sit down and rest. Then Sattvic Kala, body needs to engage itself in good, pure activities. That is how one should lead one's life. Simple as that. And Indian thought was always very much disciplined. They always had time for everything, and everything was done at the right time. So he says body is bound by the gunas, including gunas which are, if you are too dominant, your rajas is too dominant, you will be very hyperactive. You will keep doing something or the other. You can't sit quiet. Even in the middle of the night, you are wide awake. You sleep very little, you jump around, you keep running around. That is your nature. That is because you have too much rajas. Sattva people will have moderate rajas, moderate tamas. Largely sattva means they engage in pure activities, meditation. They are happy being themselves, not talking too much, not eating too much, not sleeping too much, not active too much. Everything is in moderation. And tamasic people, just opposite rajas. Always lazy. They have to drag themselves to every place. To get one thing out of them done will take years. They don't do it with heart. They don't put efforts. All the time sleepy, drowsy, lazy, inert, dull. That is their nature. We need all the three in balance to survive and keep our bodies and mind healthy. But anything goes out of balance, it leads to all the trouble in the world. So he says, body is bound by gunas. So don't try to be too harsh on your body. Because body, some people take to austerities, right? No, I have to develop sattva guna. I will not eat for the next 7 days. I will not sleep for the next 10 days. I will only meditate. People take up all kinds of things. He says all that is unnecessary. Body has to follow the pattern of gunas. Let it follow. Just make sure that it is not too much of in excess. Moderation you follow. Then, so what does this body do? Tishtati, it stays. Ayati, it goes. Yati, it comes. All these activities body is doing. It is all because of the gunas inside the body. When you sleep, when you wake up, when you eat, when you sit, when you walk. Atma, but the Atma, the self within, is na ganta, na aganta. It is not the one which goes or comes. Body is moving around. But your self is not moving around is what he is saying. Differentiate between the two. Body is getting up, doing its activity. Suddenly it's the Rajasic time, wants to go play, study. Then Tamasic time, feeling sleepy, dozes off. Or Sattvic time, attends prayers. All these body is doing because it is bound by the nature of gunas. Where is you located? He says, you are not moving at all. You are the same self, na ganta, na aganta. The one which does not go, which does not come. And kim enam anushochasi. So do not grieve over what is happening on the side of the body because you are unaffected by all the movements of the body. Even a sannyasi who thinks, I have to attain God, he is also deluded. I have to attain some Brahman is also deluded. Of course, it is the beginning of the process. Like for a primary school child, you will tell sun rises in the east and sets in the west. He must write that as the answer. Suppose there sun rises in dash, sets in dash. What does he feel? Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. He cannot interchange it. Or he cannot write sun does not rise and set. For his syllabus, for his understanding, this is what it is. But when he grows up, he realizes that sun does not rise and set. It's the earth that is rotating, revolving. So these days and nights are happening. That answer will be right for that class. Likewise, for the beginners, it is important to know that I have to attain that realization. But the advanced people, they already know that they are the self. They don't need to realize anything. You are that. So for those young, immature beginners, the novices, scriptures have told, try to overcome body, mind, and try to realize that you are that self, I am. Don't be deluded by all this body. The same idea he is telling. Don't be deluded by this body and what it does. You are not that. You dissociate yourself from that. Body is like a machine, it's like autopilot. It's like a software which has been loaded. Now it will keep producing that left, right, center because it is, once you automate a machine, you switch it on, it keeps doing its job. Like that, his body is doing its job. You go to these mills are there. The flour mills are there. You put this much of wheat grains in it, it will keep producing that much of flour. Once you switch it on, it keeps running. You don't have to do anything about it. Like that, this body which has been fed with these ingredients of gunas, of rajas, sattva, tamas, it does its job accordingly. Some people are too lazy, some people are too active, some people are too nice, some people are too harsh. It is part of the body, it will keep doing its own stuff. Don't you get deluded by that. You are the self which remains unaffected. Like the electricity is unaffected by the machine that is producing the flour. Likewise, you are unaffected. You don't change, you don't move, you don't go anywhere. You are the self. Like, as I always say, if a wheel is moving and there is an axle remains steady, the wheel moves. Like that, your body is moving, doing so many things. You are that self steady, never moving. But because of you only the body exists. If you don't exist, body does not exist. Self only makes the body come alive and act. But you don't get involved with it, you don't get start emoting with it, you don't get carried away by all that is happening in the body. Body is hungry, it will eat. Are you hungry? No, self is not hungry. Self is never hungry. Body is sleepy, it will sleep. Is the self sleepy? No. Body is tired? Yes, it will rest. Is the self tired? No. Like that. Like your computer may get heated up. It needs to rest, you will switch it off. Is the electricity tired? Electricity is not tired. Computer got tired because its hardware got heated up. So you have to shut it down and cool it for some time. Likewise, body will go through its motions. It will grow. It will shadvikara jisna aste jayate vardhate vipridamate apakshiyate mriyate. It's born. It will grow. The reversal will happen. You will become old. You will die at some point in time. Body will go through it. But do you also become old and die? No, you don't. Computer may crash and go. Electricity is not crashed. This hardware and software. Hardware of the computer is like the body. Software is like the mind. Mind makes the hardware work. Mind thinks, let me go and enjoy that nice samosa. So it will take you to the shop, it will make you buy. And eat and then feel good. So mind is the software which is running the hardware of the body, but electricity is free from both. Sometimes software gets corrupted, you get bad thoughts, you do bad things. The hardware also gets accordingly corrupted and crashes, system crashes, virus gets in, our body crashes. But the self, which is like the electricity, does not crash. It appears to go through all the motions of the computer and the software, but it actually is unaffected by that. That much logic we can understand, right? All of us. So that is the idea. Your self is not going anywhere, not coming from anywhere, not going through the motions of the body. It is steady only. It's the body, the hardware, which goes through whatever activity based on the kind of software that has been fed into it. Software is the gunas. So you do things accordingly. But you remain dissociated with this. Be careful. Don't get associated with this body-mind thing. And therefore, there is no need to grieve. Ayo, I have got this terrible body, terrible gunas, what will happen to me? Nothing will happen to you. You are free from all these things. Don't associate with them, that's all. The moment you associate, you will get into trouble. The moment you develop an attachment or a relationship with anybody, you start emoting. If you know that there are hundreds of patients in the hospital right now. Some are doing well, some are not doing well, some will survive and go back home, some are going to die. Are you affected by all of this? Suppose it was your brother who was in the ICU right now. Would you be able to sit quiet here and listen to Ashtavakra? No, because you have associated yourself with that person. Now his good and bad all becomes your good and bad. As long as you are not associated, you are not affected by it. If somebody is sick, you will at best you will pray, okay, let him become all right, that's it. But if it's your own blood relation or somebody known to you or somebody whom you love is in trouble, you get affected, you get restless, you get agitated. Likewise, this is saying, don't associate yourself with your own body and mind. Mind will be happy one day, sad another day. Body will be healthy one day, sick another day. Don't associate with that. You are the self, which does not get entangled and affected by any of these. Again, as I said, is it easy to realize? No. But what is the way? Believe. Shraddhasvatat Shraddhasva. Believe what I am saying is true. Believe that this is true. And if you truly, truly believe, definitely you can experience this. That is our scriptural truth. And as I said, if it was only Ashtavakra who said that once upon a time, I can doubt his wisdom. But this was told by so many rishis across so many time zones, across centuries. So how can it go wrong? including in the recent ones like Nisargadatta Maharaj, who didn't even read the scriptures, who just followed one word, I am, and got what he wanted. So it is possible. So he's saying, try to dissociate yourself from the ideas of emotions and the activities of the body. Try to be a witness to your own self, watching your own self. That is the best way to distance yourself. That is the first step only. First step is to distance yourself from the motions of body and mind. Distance yourself by becoming witness to your own things. And then slowly dwell in that idea of I am, by cutting off all attributes and qualifications of that I am. So these are the things that you must believe in. I'll go to the next shloka, 15.10. It's on page number 214. It says, now once you have gotten rid of this body consciousness and this idea of wanting to experience the body and experience the goods and bads of the body or experience the goods and bads of the mind, then how does it matter whether the body is here today or dies tomorrow? Because anyway you are not the body, so why are you associated? So you are what you call a way of cross-checking. Your faith is, are you still scared of death? If you are not, then you have believed, you have developed this full conviction. If you are still afraid of death, if I die tomorrow, what will happen? Or who will look after all these people who are dependent on me? These ideas start haunting you, it means your faith is not complete. So here in this shloka he says, Dehas tishtatu kalpantam gachatva dhyaiva va punaha kva vriddhi kvacha va hanihi tava chinmatra rupinaha. He says, let the body be here for kalpantam, till the end of kalpa. Now kalpa is one day of Brahma, which has so many Mahayugas, Manvantras, like now we have a timeline. It's very confusing. I never got into that because, as I said, what is the point knowing about all these details? But it means for millions of years also let the body be there. You live forever. Let us say you live for a very, very long time. Or if the body goes away now and here today, whatever happens, where is the gain or loss for you? Because you are not the body in the first place. Where is the gain or loss for you? Because you are chinmatra rupaha. Chin means chit, awareness. You are always aware of your true self. So how does it matter if your body lasts 100 years or 1,000,000 years or 1,000,000,000 years, all till the end of the creation? How does it matter? Or whether it dies today and disappears today? Why should it matter to you? Because where is the loss and gain for you? You are never the body. You are never one. You are always free. You are the self. You are the eternal one. You are the always aware one. Then where is the question of you having any loss or gain? For us, everything ends with the body. If the body dies, we all are very scared. Oh, what will happen if I die? My children, my family, my businesses, my things. All this scares us and does not allow us to die also in peace, because we are always worried about these things. But if you have developed this idea, then where is the desire to go on living unnecessarily? Or where is the desire to not die, I mean in the sense avoid death? If death has to happen as a natural course of things, let it happen today only, let it happen. What is the big deal? This is the attitude of a jnani. That's why they are so fearless. They are so fearless because they don't care. That day somebody was telling, I told jnanis don't care. But that's not a good idea. You are careless. I told, no, jnanis are not careless. When jnanis don't care, they become carefree. When ajnanis don't care, they become careless. There is a big difference between the two. Careless means you are very casual, you are not attentive and you get into trouble. Carefree means you are attentive, but you are not affected. That's two different attitudes they are. Both don't care. A fool also does not care but gets into trouble. A wise person also does not care but he is free. So carefree versus careless is the issue. So he says that how do you care whether the body lasts only till this night or stays for another 100 years? How does it matter to you? Because anyway you don't die with the body. That is the concept that he is trying to re-emphasize. It is not for Janaka, it is for us who have heard 15 chapters and still not gotten over our fears of death and body. There are some people out there. Many times I meet a lot of people. Whom do I get to meet? I get to meet people who are in trouble most of the time, because that is why they come to me to solve their problems. And one trouble that bothers them is if they have any sickness like a terminal illness, they are very scared. Because if they are young especially, suppose they are old, then they anyway accept it as their fate that today or tomorrow this is going to happen. better today than tomorrow. But for young ones, it is very difficult because they have so many desires left to be fulfilled. Their children are very young, they just got married, their parents are dependent on them, they just started a business, took a lot of loans, and so they start worrying. If something happens to me, who is going to look after all these things? What will happen to the people after me? This, that, this, they get very scared. Why? Because they think that all this is because they think they are the body, and without body, none of this will work. So I tell them that, see, nothing is in your control. If it was in your control, I would have told press these 1, 2, 3 buttons and you will be able to take care of it. It is not in your control. When you are born, when you are going to die is not in your control. Once in a while, miracles may happen that your life gets extended. Markandeya caught hold of Shiva, Shiva extended his life. That's fine. But that is not everyday thing. Don't take it for granted that if somehow miracle will happen, I will go on living. Rather, you develop this fearlessness of death. Who says that I don't care if I die today or I die after 100 years. Anyway, it's all under God's plan. And I, per se, am not this body. So how do I even get affected by it? Now, somebody dies somewhere, as I said, unknown to you. Are you affected? Now we are talking in these last 1.5 hours. How many people have died? How many places? How many people are born also? Are you affected by their birth and deaths? No. Why? Because you are not associated with them. You don't think of them as you or yours. So you are not affected. Same thing you apply now. Naham deho, name deho. I am not the body is not mine. Then why should you get affected by what happens in the body? Then let the body die today. How does it matter? No, what about the loans? We will see. Banks will write it off. What else they'll do? You are not there. So who will pay the loan? No, my wife. Wife will say, my husband took the loan, not me. She will be safe. Don't worry. They'll take away the assets, my children's education, future, what will happen to them? I said, the one who brought your children into the world will only take care of it. You were only an instrument. We know that you didn't bring the soul. You brought the body. You only bought the packaging. You didn't bring the content inside, right? The one who brought the content will look after it, will protect it, safeguard it. Why do you bother? So that kind of detachment is extremely important. Otherwise, Haritini Mishad Kalasan, who knows who will live, who will die tomorrow? Can anybody say, I'm not going to die tomorrow? Who has that guarantee? Can anybody give that guarantee? Nobody. Just today, this morning, I was reading a newspaper. A bus coming from Hyderabad to Bangalore, Hyderabad highway, got burnt in the night because of some accident. So many 19 people were burnt alive inside the bus. When they started on this journey, did they think that they are going to be dead by the time the bus goes halfway? Nobody knows. So what is the point in just believing that nothing will happen to me, nothing will happen? No, anything can happen to me, but nothing will happen to me. In the sense, anything can happen to the body, mind, but nothing will happen to the self. With that feeling, if you live, there is no fear. Otherwise, we'll go on living in fear, trying to hold on to, latch on to, cling on to things for our security or whatever. I'm not saying you should not plan. Today, what is meant to be done, do that. Today, you are meant to save some money for tomorrow's requirement, save it. But tomorrow, will you use it or not? There is no guarantee. When the Dharmaraja, he had a bell outside his palace, which anybody could ring and ask for justice. So one night, much after the court was over and he was about to retire, somebody was ringing the bell. And who was ringing the bell? A Brahmin, it seems. So the Dharmaraja said, it is so late in the night, what will I go and address you to? He told Bhima, go and tell that whoever is ringing, come tomorrow morning to the court and I will resolve your issues, I will give justice. So Bhima said, okay, I will tell him. So then he went and told the Brahmin went away, and then again the bell started ringing. Now this time Bhima was ringing the bell, it seems. So Dharmaraja asked, what happened, brother? What is wrong with you? Why are you ringing the bell? He says, I want to have justice. What kind of justice? How come that you only have conquered death? Why I have not conquered death? How is that you know that you will live tomorrow and I don't know that I will live tomorrow? He said, what are you saying? He said, just now you told Brahmin, come tomorrow. It means you are very sure that you will be alive tomorrow. That is unfair. Then Dharmaraja understood. He called back the Brahmin and did what was needed to be done. Who knows, we will be here tomorrow. We make promises, build castles in the air, make big plans. Who knows we are here tomorrow or not here tomorrow? Who knows? Rather, we live today happily, contentedly, and do what is required to be done. And if something needs to be happening tomorrow, it will happen. If it's not supposed to happen, then won't. I always tell, wake up every day because God has woken you up. He has some task for you. Do His task for the day. At the end of the day, when you are submitting to God your achievements of the day, you offer it to God, place it at His feet and say, God, here I have done whatever best I could and I offer it to you. And if you find me worthy and if you need me tomorrow, wake me up. Otherwise I'm okay, I will never wake up. And then God wakes you up. Then wake up with a smile. God still trusts you. He has some work for you. He has something for you to do for Him. And do it happily, joyfully. At the end of the day, close the day, offer it all back to God and say the same prayer. You gave me a day, I did what I could, I hope I have pleased you. And if you want me tomorrow, please wake me up. Otherwise, I have no agenda to wake up and do things tomorrow. I am free. But if you need me, please wake me up. With that attitude, if we live, where is the tension and anxiety and sorrow and misery? It is because of our own plans. I have to wake up tomorrow, that too at 3 o'clock. Why? Because I have so many things to do. That is your own plan. So you suffer with that samsara vahika, burden of the samsara. God is not reason and responsible for all your sufferings. If you live with this surrendered mind that I wake up only because God has woken me up and I will do what God wants me to do today and I will at the end of the day submit everything at God's feet and sleep again as if I am sleeping in the lap of God. And if my father, mother, God, whoever you think of God as, wakes me up tomorrow and gives me another task, I shall happily do it. If it does not wake me up, so be it. Many people ask me, something happens to you, what will happen to all these things? I tell them, is it all because of me in the first place? It is happening irrespective of my being here. And it will happen if it needs to happen, continue to happen. And if it's not supposed to happen, supposed to continue, it will stop. Have I lost things or have I gained things? No, both of them do not appeal to me. For the ocean in which waves are formed, one wave is born, one wave dies. Big deal. What does the ocean lose? What does the ocean gain? That is the idea. Kya kva vriddhihi? What do you gain by living a little longer? Or what do you lose? Kvacha va hanihi. What do you lose if you die today? Body will go, that's about. But chinmatra rupinaha, you are the self, aware, eternal. You don't die. Associate yourself with that idea. Identify yourself with that idea of the self and not with the idea of the body and mind and get panicked with every little twist and turn in life. Don't live like a fearful, afraid and frightened cat or mouse. You are a human being, you are fearless, you are the self. The lion cub who identified itself as the sheep was suffering with fear. The moment it realized it's a lion, it lost all the fear. Like that, the moment you realize you are not the body, you lose all the fear. But the moment you realize you are the body, all the fear will come back and sit on you and torture you and trouble you and never allow you to lead a peaceful, happy life. So stop thinking that you are responsible for everybody and everybody's welfare. Yes, you have children. Yes, you have grandchildren. Yes, you have dependents. But none of this is because of you. It happened to you, and if it unhappens to you also, it is okay. Don't get too emotional about it. Sometimes you may sound like rude. How come I am in trouble? You are my father. You are not bothered about my trouble. Isn't I am bothered about it, but I am not overtly emotional about it, that's all. I can give you an objective approach and decent solution as per my understanding. But beyond that, you don't expect me to sit with you and shed tears like you are doing right now. I won't do that because I am not affected by that internally. Externally, yes, whatever is in my mind as part of the responsibility of the father, the role that I have to play, I will do my best. But excessively, I won't get emotional and cry. That is why when children leave their parents, these parents are miserable. Because they are so attached. They cannot live without them, then they curse themselves, cry all life. So these are the attachments which are causing, because you identify yourself with the body. With the body there is loss and gain. With the self there is no loss, no gain. So there is no question of you getting affected. I go to the shloka number 11, which is on page number 220. Again, this is a simple idea. We have discussed it a lot of times. It says, Tvai ananta mahambodau vishwavichi svabhavataha udetu vastamayatu nate vriddhi nacha kshatihi vakshatihi. The same idea we have heard earlier when Janaka said, I am the great big ocean and I have waves are like the world that come and go. I am neither losing anything nor gaining anything out of this. I am ever steady. This is my mantra, you know that. This is what I use to steady myself. Mayananta Mahambodo Jagadvichi Svabhavata Udetu Vastamayatu Name Vriddhi Nachakshati. This is from a previous chapter. Here, Ashtavakra is in a way repeating what Janaka said and re-emphasizing that you are that great ocean and all this world, Vishwa, Vichihi, they are like the waves in you. good days, bad days, happy days, sad days. These are all waves in the ocean. So, and by nature it comes and goes. Svabhavataha. Nobody makes them come and nobody makes them go. You think I will control my destiny, I will make things happen, I will only have happy times, I will avoid all the sorrow. You think you are in control of things? No. The only thing you are in control is whom to associate yourself with, the waves or the ocean. Associate with the ocean, identify with the ocean, let the waves come and go. Identify with the self, let the world come and go. Then he says, Udetu Vastamayatu, like the waves rise and fall, but the ocean neither loses or gains anything out of it. Ocean is ocean. The rise of the waves is also part of the ocean, the fall of the waves is also the ocean. So ocean is always same, it is not increasing or decreasing. Likewise, be the self. The self, Ekatma Sarva Bhuntantaratma, which is permeates everything and everyone. And you never lose or gain. If a few people die in this world, you don't lose anything. And if few people are born, you don't gain anything. Yes, some titles you will gain. Now you become a grandfather, grandmother, father, mother. Some titles have come to you. But really as a self, you have not gained anything. You not gained anything. If I put this hall is a big hall, if I make multiple partitions and several rooms in it, each room will be called by some name. Have I gained some space or lost some space? No, space was the same. Rooms have been increased or decreased according to the walls. That is the idea. You don't identify yourself with the rooms, you identify with the space. Then what do you lose? Let there be a few more rooms here, let few more rooms be removed. Space is same. That idea is Shraddha. That belief that you are that and not these rooms and spaces and waves is the idea of our spirituality, which makes us fearless. When our scriptures say, Abhihi, 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 be fearless, be fearless. This is what it means. Be fearless doesn't mean that you develop some new martial arts skills and then you can beat anybody who comes your way. That is not the fearlessness we are talking. We are talking of fearlessness of this knowledge which makes us free of fear. Because we don't think we die. And that idea is to be firmly believed in. As I said, I can repeat in 100 ways, 200 shlokas, but if you don't have belief in what this is saying, you will not experience even an inch of all these things. It's all intellectual, nice to have ideas, but no good at the end of the day. It doesn't help because you'll go back to your rooms, your families, your children, your home and go back to the same old thing. And if the child cries, you will cry. If child smiles, you will smile. If you come to know some loved one is sick and dying, you will suffer. This will be a way of life all through. If you don't rise above these attachments and think of yourself as the ocean of consciousness in which so many existences happen and so many existences unhappen or disappear. So many are born, so many die. It's a part of life. When Bhagavan's sister lost her husband at a young age, she went to him and told, this is what is happening. He said, death and birth are the part of this game, right? If there is no death and birth, then how will I entertain myself, he said. He's saying from the point of view of the highest self. So how do I entertain myself if there is no death and birth? Imagine people are only born and they don't die at all. What will happen to this world? It's a part of life, he said. To his own sister, he told on her face. It's a part of life. Take it. Accept it. No, you are God, you revive. No arguments. Sister also is like that. Okay, whatever you say. Because they're so detached. So detached. But we, so attached. Little something happens, I see people, some of these new parents are there. My God, they're the biggest trouble for me. If their child sneezes also, one message will come to me. Today my child is sneezing. I hope we won't catch pneumonia or jaundice or this. Why are you imagining? And even if she catches one, we will take care of it, don't worry. We have a very good NICU and all that, don't worry. But I see these new parents, my God, little the child even does this much, one red rash here, that's it. Hope it is not some skin disease, so hope it is not. I thought, why are you getting so troubled? Children fall sick, that is the way they develop immunity. Which child does not fall sick, you tell me? But they are so attached that they lose sleep, they lose food, they lose everything because the child is going through that. I understand the emotions of it, but not overtly emotional. See, child will fall sick. As parents, you need to look after the child. Okay, go look after it. That's about it, right? Objectively, do what is needed. Getting emotional, losing sleep and cursing everybody, cursing yourself. Why my child only? As if no other child suffers in the world. There, this kind of, when I see it from our people, I get very irritated. I say, when will you grow up? On one hand, you talk about this Brahma Jnana, on the other side, a little scratch on the child's, itch on the child's skin, and you are losing your sleep over it, that what is going to happen to you, is this something very dangerous? And I tell them, even if it's dangerous, whatever it is, we will deal with it. We'll deal with it. What's the point in worrying and cursing anybody for that? And then their expectations. No, we are your disciples, so nothing wrong should go with anything that we do in life. Who said? Who guaranteed? I told you the other day. I am not here to guarantee you a very safe, smooth, happy, healthy, successful and joyful life. No. I am not even guaranteeing you that there won't be any sorrow, misery, difficulty, losses, deaths or anything in your life. Both I am not guaranteeing you. Only thing I am guaranteeing you is I can give you, if you are willing to learn, the knowledge of how to deal with both. With maturity, with spiritual maturity, and go through what you have to go through, that's it, and not get affected. That's all I can guarantee. Once a lady went to Gautam Buddha. She had lost her child. So with the dead body of the child in her arms, she went to Buddha, who had come to the village, and told, I have heard you are a great Jnani, yogi and this and that. Please revive my child. It has died. Buddha said, of course I will do it, but you have to do one thing in return for me. He said, what? You to go to the house of anyone in the village in whose house there has never been a death, and bring me a handful of seeds, mustard seeds from such a house. And once you get me that handful of mustard seeds, I will definitely bring back your child to life. She, in her motherly eagerness, went home to home, door to door, asking, is there a house where no death has ever happened? I want a handful of mustard seeds from that house to save my child. Every household said, what are you asking? How is it possible that never a death has happened in any household? Somebody would have died at some point in time. So she comes back empty-handed. And then Buddha says, this is the truth of life. Just because your child died young, you feel, he doesn't deserve to die, he's died too young. Should have lived for 100 years, coughed his way to death. Then it would have been right. But that is not the way. She says, anything can happen anytime. So accept that as the part of your life, and then don't get affected by it. Accepting and affected is no good. Knowing that self is what it is. And there's the thing nobody dies. It's a wave in the ocean which has come and just gone. For that reason, you don't get affected. Unless you develop this deep faith, as I said, every small shake in life will going to throw you off balance. And yes, losses will happen. Who said that guarantees? That's why I told very clearly. Coming to a guru or coming to an ashram or coming to a spiritual master does not guarantee your life is going to be a bed of roses. There won't be any thorns. No, it doesn't. It only guarantees that whether there are roses or thorns, you will know how to deal with it. You will know how to go through life without getting affected. That's all can be guaranteed. Beyond that, there are no guarantees. And this guarantee is also has pre-terms and conditions, which is if you are sincere enough to have faith and believe in these teachings. If you don't have that faith, then this guarantee is also not there. You are on your own. That is the truth. So don't believe in these ideas of, unnatural or supernatural things or miraculous things. If it happens, so happens. That's a part of your fate or destiny of the person whom you are dealing with. But your effort should be to develop this kind of equanimity which comes from the knowledge of the self and firm belief that knowledge will happen only to those who truly believe in it. One more shloka I will take up is a 12th shloka in similar tone. Tat chinmatra ruposi nate bhinnam midam jagat ata kasya katham kutra heyo padeya kalpana. He asks 3 questions. Katham, kasya and kutra. Kasya means whose loss. Katham means how it is. And kutra means where it is. So what he is saying, oh dear one, Tat, chinmatra ruposi, you are the self, you are the indestructible awareness, consciousness. And you are not different from this world, because this world is also your projection only. What is a dream after all? Dream is a part of the dreamer. If there is no dreamer, there is no dream. Likewise, there is no world if you do not exist. All the trees, birds, houses, humans in the dream are whose creation? Are dreamer's creation. The one who is sleeping is creating these things. So those people who are living in that dream, where were they born? When were they born? How were they born? So also when they disappear, dream ends, all the people of the dream disappears. And when did they disappear? How did they disappear? Where did they disappear? These are the questions he is asking. So if the world has disappeared or you have lost something in the world, it is like losing something in the dream. You only created that and you only have engulfed it back, merged it back. Likewise, these relations, these ideas of mine, thine, all these are your own creation. You are a part of everything. So you don't lose anything because you are everything. You don't lose anything, he's saying. Like when gold is melted into a bangle is looking very beautiful, somebody wears it on the in the hands. Then it is melted and made into a chain, somebody wears it around the neck. Next it is melted and made into rings, somebody wears this around the fingers. You are only gold, you are only what you call the ring, the chain or the bracelet, armlet, whatever. What is the loss? When was the loss? To whom was the loss? If the bangle is melted and made into a necklace, what was lost and what was gained? Yes, bangle was lost and necklace was gained. But did the gold lose anything is the question. Because gold only was everything. So you are that gold. You are not the necklace and bangles. You are not these forms and names. You are the self-consciousness in which all this exists. Like you are the ocean in which all the waves exist. You are the space in which all the buildings exist. Likewise, you are that in which everything exists. If something is lost, nothing is lost to you. If something is gained, nothing is gained by you. Don't get deluded by these losses and gains in life because these are all kalpana. Heya upadeya kalpana, he says. Heya means giving up. Upadeya means receiving. Both are your imagination. In a dream, if something new happens, nothing new really happened. In a dream, something is lost, nothing really is lost. Likewise, this world itself is like swapna, is a dream-like thing. Whatever is happening here is just in your imagination. In fact, it is made of you only. Those dreams are made of your own thoughts. You don't lose anything. You don't gain anything from the losses and gains of the world. So because you are that, you are the gold, you are the bangle, you are the necklace, you are the anklet. You are everything made of it. Your true essence is gold. So forms may change, but gold is not lost or gold is not gained by changing the forms. So this world is also you only. Everything is consciousness, awareness. When we are aware of something, only it exists. If it is not in awareness, it does not exist. Go back and read Schrodinger's cat experiment. In your awareness, only truth exists. If you are not aware, there is no. Suppose one day one Swamiji was asked, you built up such a big empire. What if you die tomorrow? What will happen to these people? He said, how does it matter? After I die, I don't exist for them, they don't exist for me. So how does it matter, he said. How does it matter to me? I don't exist anymore, they don't exist for me because my existence is the reason why they exist for me. If I don't exist, how does it matter who exists or who does not exist? I am anyway free. That is the idea of these Gyanis. You will say, no, you may die, but we are all alive, we have to deal with the life. That is your problem. I am not responsible for it. Till I was around, I was responsible for it. I did what I needed to do. Now I am dead and gone. To you, I am dead. To me, you are dead. Because I am out of your awareness and you are out of my awareness. We don't exist for each other anymore. That clarity these Gyanis have. That's why they can never get attached and entangled. That's why they never stay in one place also. Because if they stay in one place, not that they will develop attachment. People will develop attachment to them. That is a hurdle in the path. Therefore, they don't stay in one place for too long. Only one night they are allowed to stay in one place. Otherwise, they have to keep moving. Because if they stay in one place, either they will develop roots and develop attachment to the place and people, or the people may develop attachment. Unless your guru said so that you stay and do this, that's a different matter. Otherwise, Gyanis are not supposed to stay in any one place. They are supposed to always parivrajaka. They should keep moving. You remember that Vasantavat Lokahitam Charantaha, like the spring season that comes and goes, these people keep moving around. They don't stay in one place. That is the nature of the Gyanis. Why? Because they are not attached to anybody, anything. And nobody can entice them with any great ideas. You stay here, I'll build you a bungalow. You stay here, we'll build you a temple. You stay here, I'll give you so many other comfortable things. They are not attached. They are not attached. But to tell you very honest, I stay here, but I don't feel this is my place. I don't feel I belong here. Some people will get a shock. Oh, then why did you do all these things? It was to be done, it was done. I don't feel I belong here. So where do you belong? I don't know, I tell them. Do you belong to Chhattisgarh? Maybe, may not be. Do you belong to Karnataka? Maybe, may not be. You belong to any other country, place, a campus? I told, I don't know. I never felt that I belong anywhere. I never felt any attachment to anyone. So some people develop attachment to me because they're living in the ashram. Why are you not looking at us? Why are you not talking to us? Why are you not showing color, love and concern? You were like that, now you are become rude. And I told, I have not become rude and nothing. My nature has changed. Earlier I used to identify with the body mind, so I had relationships and I looked after people accordingly. Now I don't identify with it, nor I identify you also with your body and mind, so I don't care. I'm carefree. I don't care. So people get shocked. Oh, so you will not take responsibility of all these things. I said, when did I take the responsibility so far that I will take in the future? It is not my responsibility. This is supposed to happen, it is happening. If it is not happening tomorrow also, I am not bothered. But you are jumping on everybody for every little deviation. That's a part of my job. If I have been given the job of the police, I have to catch the thief and punish them. That's my job. But one day I'll retire from this police job, right? After that, I'm not bothered how many thieves are there in the society, how many are in the jail, how many are roaming free. None of my concern. My job is over. So like that, my job is to only teach and do what is meant to be done. Beyond that, I'm not bothered. I'm not attached to any of these things. The day I develop attachment, that is the beginning of my downfall. Forget about your downfall. Why should I cause my downfall? I'm not attached, I said. Whatever comes, yada yad kartum ayati, tat krutva tishtate sukham. These people do what needs to be done at whatever time it needs to be done and whichever way it needs to be done, and then they are done with it. They don't bother the next day about it. So we don't wake up and cry over things. Jnanis don't do that. These Ajnanis think, oh, this Jnani Maharaj is so kind to me. I'm surely his favorite. I am the top 5, top 4 that Jayanti was saying. Top 10 devotees. You have those imaginations. Tomorrow suddenly if my disposition towards you is not as nice, kind, sweet and loving as it was yesterday, don't be shocked. Don't come and say that, how come everything has changed overnight? I said, nothing changed overnight. You lived in an imagination that somehow you were special. But it is not so. It is not so. Your karma is there, prarabdhas are there. For that reason you are enjoying. Even in Bhagavan, I had seen so many people have come and gone. Even my 7 years of stay, I have seen so many people who were so close and next day they were not even seen anywhere near. Whenever we ask, you will say, well, prapti. It is their prapti. They did some punya in the past. They came there. They lived that life for some time and then disappeared. Once a young priest had come. He had come as a part of some Dashara celebrations. And Bhagavan was so fond of him. From the day one, he caught hold of him, he was calling him and he appointed him as the priest for the temple also. And gave him all kinds of gifts. When he showers. Chappar faadke, as they say in Hindi. So much he showered. And all of us students used to look at him. He was a young boy, maybe 21, 22. And very, very bright, very, very effulgent. Must be from a very good family and lineage. But for a few days he stayed. He was doing pujas and all that, artis. And one night suddenly disappeared, never came back again. So we all thought, what must be the reason? And his one word answer, prapti. Till prapti is there, they enjoy the proximity. When their punyas burn away, they are gone. So once somebody asked, is it your grace that we are here or is it because of our good deeds? He said, your good deeds were all burnt on the very first darshan. How much ever good deed you pride yourself to have done, all that was over in the because you tell me so many rishis are doing tapas for so many janmas, then they get one glimpse of the God, right? So all that was over in the first darshan. Whatever the rest is my grace. You're on bonus. But it will also run out. So before it runs out, you better do some more good deeds and continue to earn your living here. In the sense, earn your deservedness. If you don't put efforts, you don't do the right thing, your good punya or whatever you call it will run out in some time. And then suddenly you will see why Bhagavan is not talking to me, why Bhagavan is not paying attention, he doesn't care. Imagine what you want. I've seen him. Suddenly he'll be so involved, suddenly he'll turn away like a stone, as if he never knew those people. And I used to always wonder, how can somebody like this be like this? One moment you're so emotional, till yesterday that person was everything for you. Next day you just dropped it like a hot potato and you're not even concerned whether he's there or not. How does it work for you like this? Now I know how it works. Because these jnanis are not attached. They appear to be attached. They appear to be so involved. But deep inside they are not affected. It's only temporary. It's only for that moment what needs to be done, they do. Beyond that, they don't. If you go to these nice hotels, 5-star hotels, oh, they're so nice and kind to you, right? Or because I travel by air and now I'm maybe on the frequent flyer things. So they all know my name. When you enter, they'll have a tab. They already know which seat, which person is coming, whether this is a preferred client or something like that. So they will tell you, oh, welcome, Mr. Sai, they'll say. You feel so good. My God, I am so well known and these people are so fond of me. No, she's just doing her job. She'll have to smile because that is how she gets paid. And she welcomes everybody who is coming in a nice, those clients which are premium. They are nice to you. You'll take it for, start thinking, oh, she's really fond of you, or he's really adoring you, admiring you. No, it's only for that 3 hours of flights. That's all. After that, who are you? Who am I? Kastvam, koyam, kutayayata. Which client, which air hostess, which flight, which person. They don't remember me, right? For that 3 hours, they are very nice to me. They treat me very well. Whatever I ask, they give and make you feel that you are the king. After 3 hours, do you think if they meet me on the road, they are even going to greet me? No. Unless I come into another flight again. That's how Gyanis are. They know they have to do this job for 3 hours, do this job and get rid of things. These fools think we have become so popular, famous, and people have become fond of us. These Gyanis have special place for them, for me in their hearts. All this is your imagination. None of this is true. And I can tell it with great clarity because I am now understanding things from this side. At that moment, they live in the present. So if you come to the interview room, you will think you are the only person in this ashram. Nobody else exists. Bhagavan was like that. You go to him, that moment, that 10 minutes he'll spend with such attention to you that you think you are the most important person there and he only likes you and loves you and you are the only one who matters to him. But the moment next interview person will come, he's equally nice to them. It was never about you alone. It was never. But you appear to imagine it that no, we are special, somehow we are special. No, it is not true. It is not true. And don't even develop such expectations and land up with disappointments later. So that is how one should live. Live in the world but be unaffected by it. Let the boat be in the water. The water should not enter the boat. That extent only. So even if it's the closest relation, your own kith and kin, child born of you, with everybody you have to have same kind of unattached relation. You be involved in their welfare and do what needs to be done today and that's it. After that, they are on their own. Beyond that, you should not develop any expectations from anyone because if you develop, you will only suffer. They will not suffer. You will suffer. So for your own happiness, please don't get involved. Identify yourself with the self and practice this mantra, I am. I am means, that's it. I am what? Mother? No. I am father? No. No attributes, no qualifications, no qualities. Just cut it there. I am. Just keep meditating. And Nisargadatta Maharaj, illiterate BD maker can get it, then everybody can get it, right? So just practice that I am mantra. What you're singing?
Now we'll be presenting a Kabir Bhajan which says, without the Guru's guidance, one cannot cross the turbulent river of life filled with waves of ego, mountains of desire and anger, and storms of delusion and pride. Guru bin Kaun. This is set to Rag Charukeshi. गुरु बिना कौन बतावे बाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। भ्रांति की पहाड़ी नदिया। भ्रांति की पहाड़ी नदिया। बीच में अहंकार की लाट। भ्रांति की पहाड़ी नदिया। बीच में अहंकार की लाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बात। गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। काम क्रोध दो पर्वत ठाड़े। लोभ चोर संघात। काम क्रोध दो पर्वत ठाड़े। लोभ चोर संघाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट, गुरु बिन कौन बताए बाट। मद मत्सर की मेघा बरसत, माया पवन बढ़ जाए। मद मत्सर की मेघा बरसत, माया पवन बढ़ जाए। बड़ा विकट यह घाट, बड़ा विकट यह घाट, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। कहत कबीरा कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, क्यों तरना यह घाट। कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, क्यों तरना यह घाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट, बड़ा विकट यह घाट, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बात, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बाट। बड़ा विकट यह घाट, बड़ा विकट यह घाट, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बात, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बात, गुरु बिन कौन बतावे बात। सर्वसुगुणसिन्धवे सकलसुजनबन्धवे सर्वसुगुणसिन्धवे सकलसुजनबन्धवे गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय सर्वलोकहितरकाय सर्वमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सत्यसायिनप्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय सत्यसायिनप्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय नित्यशुद्धनिर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक पति महेश्वर ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रितकल्पलतिका आश्रितकल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धव ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवमो मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी वो साई महादेव सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगल हारति अंधुको मंगल हारति अंधुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी
जय